Today's video, we will go over how to use standard deviations to take profit and know where to target certain price points. Using this will help you for better target areas. So that's what we're going to do today. But first, I need to show you how to use standard deviations. So first, you want to use a Fibonacci first and foremost. I believe the Fibonacci is a very powerful tool if you know how to use it correctly. This is going to be the standard deviation areas. You can copy the settings. So we're going to use the 0, 1, and then we're going to use the 2, -1, a -2.5, and -4. So this is how it's going to look for the standard deviations. And I'm going to show you guys how to use standard deviation. Alright, so for the breaker block, we use pretty much the whole breaker. Use the whole breaker, guys, because the breaker is just very, very powerful. And it's already a price swing, so there's no need for a manipulation order block if you don't got one. That's why I recommend the breaker. And then eventually for the manipulation order block, you're going to look for a sweep of liquidity. This is first and foremost. And then the order block, or it can be the price swing, like I've been showing you guys, the price swing of that manipulation. I believe the manipulation price swing is a lot more hefty, so you might not reach the -4 level. If you use the order block, I do believe you'll reach it. But the first and foremost, you can look for a liquidity sweep. It can be a higher time frame or a lower time frame. It doesn't really matter. As long as you know where the manipulation area is from like your AMD, then I believe that's very powerful. And then eventually the retracement swing, or just the retracement swing, price lag, doesn't matter. You're gonna look for after a market structure shift has occurred. That's first and foremost. You have to look for a market structure shift to occur, and that's how we use these areas to take profit, using standard deviations or just to target certain areas. So yeah, that's pretty much really it. Alright, so here would be the breaker block for me. It would be right here. We swept liquidity and we form the breaker, and then we push higher. For me, I would use the breaker block from the lowest low of the breaker to the highest high. It doesn't matter if it's a bearish candle, if it's a bullish candle, and the wicks. I don't just use the bodies. You can use the bodies for more precision, but I believe you get more of a range and a more of an ideal target whenever you're using the breaker block, and that's kind of why. For the retracement lag, I'm going to show you guys that right now. Okay, so here we have the retracement swing. So a market structure shift here has occurred, and then eventually what? We create a low, and then we create a new high. So I use that whole price swing, and then eventually we form another one here. We come back up and then come back down. So this would be another retracement swing. And you can see here we met the -1 area, but this one met the -2 and 2.5. So whenever you're in this area, it's very ideal for reversals to occur. So you want to be very wary whenever you reach this area for a reversal. That's why I said, if the body closes below the 2.5 area, you're most likely to have a double expansion, but sometimes it won't happen. So that's why I recommend being very cautious after you reach this level, and expect reversals depending on how the higher time frame is looking. So I believe the higher time frame is very important. You can't just stick to one time frame and use standard deviations. You're gonna have to use this on multiple time frames. So yes, that is very important. Here's the manipulation or the manipulation order block or the price swing. It doesn't matter if you use the order block or the price swing. In my opinion, I prefer the price swing than the order block because it gives you more of an idea area to target and a bigger area to target. If you use just like one candle or two candles for the order block, it's not very large in my opinion. I prefer the larger ones because you already swept liquidity. So other than that, you already had change in the state of delivery and you swept liquidity. To me, that's like a reversal, and you're likely to expand pretty hard in the opposite direction that you are reversing to. So right here, you can see this whole price lag right here, from right here, this one right here to right here, was where we had that sweep of liquidity. We created a low, then we created a high, and then eventually we started to form lower price action there, and then we had a market structure shift below that low, and then we formed a new one, and then a new high. So that's how you see it. And then eventually you draw this right here, and then you draw that, and you can see we met that level pretty quickly, and then we had a reversal, and then we eventually had that closure. So you can see here, it looks like a market maker sell model to me, and I believe using standard deviations with market maker model is very powerful. But you can see a market maker sell model here. This is where the manipulation occurred. This is where you swept liquidity right here. You swept liquidity from this low to that high. So you want to use the low to the high from where you swept liquidity. It can be internal liquidity, it can be high time frame liquidity, doesn't matter. As long as you swept liquidity and you use the price swing low and the high of that manipulation, then you're going to get pretty nice areas to target for your standard deviations. And that is pretty much it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you want to learn how to use a very powerful model, then I recommend you watch the unicorn model video soon. Right now, go click it.